Hello everyone, John here again for another video. This time I thought I'm not going to do any playing today, which I know is a bit strange. I'm going to talk to you a bit about guitar psychology. And interestingly enough, as we play, as guitar players, whether you're just starting out or if you've been playing a while, you tend to find that it's really less about these things, your fingers, and more about what's going on in your brain to help you play, and this really incorporates so many things from, playing things that you think are impossibly difficult to, the basics, which is practicing. So I thought I'd start this first video and talk to you a bit about practice, which is important. I'm a guitar teacher. I've been a guitar teacher for about 10 years, and I teach in schools, but I started when I was 19, which is really late really for the guitar. But I wanted to play because all my friends played. I think that's why I got into it in the first place. And my friend could play one chord, and I thought this guy was great, so I got him to come with me to the guitar shop, and he played his one chord on this guitar, and I said, "Is that a good guitar?" And he said, "Oh yeah." So I said, "Right, I'll buy that." And that really started me off playing, and so I was quite old, as I said, when I started. But what I loved about it was the practice, and it's an interesting thing over the years, and being a guitar teacher, I have people ask me, how much should you practice in a day? And that, I've always thought that an interesting question, because I've never really thought of it as practice, and I think if you do think of it that way, you're kind of doomed, because if you think of something that you really like or something you really enjoy, let's say watching fluffy cat videos on YouTube, now if you think about doing that, or that one thing that you like, you don't think to yourself, "Oh no, I've got to watch some more fluffy cat videos on YouTube." You don't think of it that way, do you? You just, you want to do it. It's an absolute pleasure to do it, so you go off and you do it. And I've always found that with an instrument, now obviously when you start, it's very difficult, just to get the chords and to sound good. It takes a lot of work, whatever it is we're working on. And you can't really see the pleasure in it until you've kind of gone through those stages. But of course you do have to enjoy going through that. And if you don't, if you are getting to the stage where you think, "Oh, this is horrible," and I mean, we all go through it as guitar players, but really if you're thinking about that when you practice, "Oh, this is horrible, oh no, I've got to go and practice now," then really I would have to say maybe you should go and do something else that you really enjoy. I've seen it in so many students, and I always think you don't have to do it. If it's something that really is causing you pain to practice, then you might want to think about doing something else. But that being said, we all have problems with the guitar, whatever it is we're working on, as I say. So just if you can get through that, that's great, and it starts to be more fun. The other question I get asked a lot is how much should I practice, number one, and number two, what should I practice? I always think what you should practice is really what you enjoy, So obviously there are sometimes situations where that can't happen, but what I mean is if you really enjoy playing chords and strumming, then that's what you should practice. If you're not really interested in, alternate picking or legato or sweep picking or any of these other things, then that's okay. Don't worry about it. Really do what you're interested in, I would say. I would also recommend you let musical situations guide you. And what I mean by that is, when I was younger, I used to really have an obsession with playing fast. I wanted to really get my technique down, so I would practice that for hours, sometimes 8 hours, in my room at night when I was younger. And the interesting thing was, then a friend of mine asked me to go and jam with him. I thought, okay, I'll go and jam with him. And of course I was great at doing this. Well, I wasn't great. I was getting better at doing this interesting technique stuff. But then when I came to jam with someone, I just didn't know what to do. You know, he was playing chords. I didn't know any chords or what to do. So that's what I mean by letting the musical situation guide you, because you'll find that when you get together, maybe with other musicians, you're going to see what you lack in your playing, you know. So I play with a good friend of mine, Jim, who's been on a couple of my videos previously. You can have a look back. We did a course together on how to jam with other guitar players. You can check that out. But Jim, this friend of mine, he plays country, and I don't really play country. So it's interesting when we practice together, you know, now when we play together, I've had to kind of learn a bit of country because I can see that was lacking in my playing. You know, I couldn't do that. So you realise quite quickly that you could be the best blues player on the planet, but then you get together with someone who plays country and you're out of your depth, you know, quite quickly. You're not too sure what to do. So that can be a big help, you know, letting these musical situations guide you. And the other thing is when you're learning something, as I mentioned, some things are difficult, are more difficult than others, but don't give up. You know, don't think to yourself, oh, this is too hard. Sometimes things are a bit hard depending on our playing level at the stage, but you can always come back to it, you know, give it a break. I find sometimes some things I've been working on for quite a long time. I mean, you know, sometimes years. And I'm not inferring that you're going to take years. It's just I'm a slow learner, you know. So take your time. Don't think you can't do anything. Sometimes if you're constantly getting something wrong, it could be your technique is wrong. Or the other thing that I found for me is that it hasn't been explained to you in the right way. I was very lucky. I had a great teacher when I was younger, which really helped to see things. Because when I was younger, I wanted to play, you know, Steve Vai stuff, Joe Satriani stuff, all Guns N' Roses stuff, all the stuff I was interested in, you know. And I just started, and I'd heard this stuff on records, and there was no internet, you know. Those you could get guitar magazines, but they were, you know, I didn't really understand them, to be honest with you. And to have someone in front of you play the stuff, you know, it really helped. And I would have to say that YouTube, as good as it is, you know, now we're all watching YouTube videos and you're watching this, you know, which is great, but there is that slight disconnect that you see all these people on the internet be able to play this stuff, you know, Joe Satriani stuff and Steve Vai, and they play it exceptionally well. Some of these guys, amazing. Really, it is incredible what talent is out there. And as a guitar player, you think, wow, I should be doing that. You know, I should really be playing like that. But the truth is, you really don't see what goes on in the background. What I mean by that is you're seeing the tip of the iceberg. You go onto YouTube, you see someone covering your favorite song, whatever it might be, and sometimes they have a lot of technique, and you feel, wow, I should be playing that. But you know, the truth is you don't see the 20 years of practice that guy has done to get to that level. There are some people who are very gifted, you know, that they're able to pick it up and just play. But for most of us musicians, it doesn't it doesn't go like that. I mean, when I learn a track, you know, I do a few video covers, you know, as you can see on my YouTube channel. But when I learn a track, it's really sometimes one song. If it's a Joe Satriani song, I'm working on it for a month, and you know, there's a lot of things I can't do, so I'll have to sit there and learn those things, you know. So don't feel that you should be able to play these things. They're hard songs, you know, whatever it is you're working on. As I say, even if it's chords, just strumming is difficult. You know, someone does a video, they've been playing for a long time, so you know, you're getting the benefit of their experience, not what they can do. Just because they can do it doesn't mean to say that you will be, you know. So I hope that helps. That's a little video on practice, how long you should do it for. I think, well, to recap, that should take care of itself. If you really enjoy something, you're just playing, And what to practice? Well, really do what you enjoy, but let your musical situations guide you. And I would have to say, with musical situations, you only get to those musical situations if you're jamming with people or if you're in a band, and that really exposes, how good or bad you are quite quickly. Because if you're sitting there in your bedroom and you're playing, that's really, really great, and you can jam with yourself now with all these looper pedals and everything. But it doesn't really replace, jamming with another guitar player. So there we go. I hope that was of some use to you on a bit of guitar psychology. Stay tuned for the next one. I'm not too sure what the next one is going to be yet, but I'll think of one and let you know. If you've got any that you'd like me to cover, any questions you have on the guitar, let me know in the comments section below and I'll try and help you. Do remember to subscribe if you can. There's hundreds of lessons on my channel, and hopefully one of them will help you out. So in the meantime, I shall see you next episode.